Hi, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to discuss a little bit about mobility tests. Some of them are beneficial in my belief, some of them not so much. I think more of them tell you your physical abilities at the time to give you an honest look at where you're at and where you might want to start with in order to become more active and mobile. I think a lot of these tests that will advertise and clickbait you on telling you, oh, what's your actual physical age? They're very generalized tests, and they can be skewed a little bit depending on who's administering the test and what kind of test they're being applied, because there's many mobility tests out there. The Mayo Clinic has one of the most comprehensive ones. I was able to witness one of the Mayo Clinic's tests that were being given, and I do like how they do their test. They weren't recording anyone's age until after they got all the results. And then they would okay, here's what age we think you are physically to match your ability level. And then they would match up their ages, and they were actually recording a bunch of the data for a study that they were doing. One of them is a timed up and go test. And this is a test that you start from a seated position in a chair without using your hands. You stand up, you walk a short distance from the chair, you turn around, and you walk back to the chair. And they're observing this whole thing, and they're, your balance, your coordination, everything plays a part in this. So that's one of the tests. Another one is a very common one, is called a 6-minute walk test. And this is just purely what it sounds like. Is you walk for 6 minutes and they record the distance. Now they're not telling you're not supposed to run, you're supposed to walk. You're supposed to walk at a comfortable pace to you, which is going to show what level of fitness you're actually at. Because if you're a little bit more fit, then you tend to walk a little bit faster. If you're not as much in shape, you're going to take your time a little bit more. But they also don't want you to force it. They want you to do a more natural, normal walk, just to get an idea of your starting point. And some of these will actually help you be more honest with yourself. So you don't overdo it right from the get-go when you try to get into this. There's a sit and stand test. This evaluates your lower body strength along, your core, your legs, and everything. So you sit down in a chair, a nice sturdy chair, with no arms on the chair, and you stand up. And usually it's around 30 seconds. You do this repeatedly. You lower yourself down, controlled, lower yourself down to sitting position, stand back up, and do this for 30 seconds and record how many times you're able to do this. One, without using your arms. You cannot use your arms pushing yourself out of the chair. So this is going to make you use your legs, your core, everything. And it's also an endurance thing. For 30 seconds, you're doing this over and over. And this test I really like. It does show a lot, because a lot of people, including myself, I work on my core strength every single day. And because the older you get, the stronger you want your core. You want your core nice and strong. Even if you're young, you want your core nice and strong. I mean, it just helps you. It helps with your lower back. It helps with your lifting. It helps with everything. So there's another test that they do. It's called a functional reach test. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I think, yeah, functional reach test. So anyway, it measures your balance and stability by assessing how far a person can reach forward without losing their balance. So this again goes back to that core strength. And a little bit more on core strength is some people believe it's just your abdominals. You know, it's a band of group of muscles. Your abdominals include your obliques, your sides, and your lower back. And so in weightlifting, you hear this a lot. You need to brace your core. You need to tighten your core. And that core being nice and tight will prevent you from getting injury. So you need to make it nice and strong. You need to work on that. And so I work on it every single day. And it does help. It keeps me from having lower back problems, and it also helps keep me more active and better balanced. It's amazing how much your core actually affects your entire body. So anyway, these are a few of the mobility tests. The Mayo Clinic, I really like theirs, like I said, and one of theirs is also taking measurements of your body and recording that to go along with your age assessment, your physical age assessment. So it's a little bit more in depth. Theirs, I might do a video on just theirs alone because it is in depth, but you do need someone to do it with you, to help you with it, because it is very involved and it is in depth, you know. And to interpret it, I'll put some links, if I do that video, I'll put some links in there to the Mayo Clinic's website on how to interpret the results and what it tells you. But I believe that a lot of these mobility tests that you can take, I think they're good in a lot of assessments. They might show you, oh, I need to work on my squat. I need to work on my lower body strength. And this is not just I'm not talking about bodybuilders or anything like that. I'm just talking about the average everyday person, to make their squat a little bit stronger, to make their core a little bit stronger, which gives them a better quality of life. Nowadays we call the Southeast Asian squat, the Asian squat, you know. In America, we used to be able to do that. As you notice, almost all babies can squat. And it's because it's a natural position of our body to rest in. It's actually a resting position. So if you can squat, and you can squat all the way down and rest on the back of your calves like an Asian squat, then you're doing really well, especially for a Westerner or an American. There is some benefits to trying to get that, and there is an exercise that I can tell you real quick to try. And get a nice sturdy chair, face the chair, and hold onto the chair for balance, and just squat down. And each time try to go a little bit lower, a little bit lower. And you're holding that chair for stability so you don't fall over backwards. And the reason being is because over the years, we've lost the ability to balance ourselves. So this will help strengthen and bring back that mobility and flexibility to your knees, into your calves, your hamstrings, and your ankles. Your ankles are the part that really need to strengthen up to do that. So the chair is like a counterbalance. So if you want, you could work on that. Let me know in the comments what you think. I can do videos on that too. We might cover that in the future. And again, I'd like to thank you for watching the video. And as always, I'm still new here. I greatly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. Stick around for the next video. I'm hoping that we can do some more to improve things for everyone. And let me know what your comments are. I'm always open to constructive criticism.